I mean, I can appreciate that Mark Rowley has held the Met, partially responsible, partially accountable in the terms of systemic misogyny. However, this is, again, I don't feel like he's taking it very seriously. When he talks, it's very sort of just as if he doesn't seem to care that much, and maybe that's just the way I'm interpreting it. But I think that there needs to be a statutory report into sexism and racism within the force.
Well, of course, Mark would say that he is obviously looking into it and he's quite serious about that. I presume he's not here to defend himself. But with that in mind, how do you think the police could evolve, though? Because I've lost confidence in the force. I know a lot of people have. It feels like there doesn't seem to be much that they seem to be getting right at the moment, especially when it comes to women and girls.
Yeah, I think, we've spoken about reform, vetting, things like this. I think the major issue is that a lot of times when the police are called into question, a lot of police are very quick to defend and go on the defense and say, well, it's not all of us, it's not all of us. We're not saying it's every single one of you. If you just took the time to say, okay, well, which ones is it? Let's actually look into what's going on here and how it's been covered up and why there's no consequences for certain behaviour. And also putting consequences for what seems like small behaviour, like banter and misogyny in the workplace. If there was consequences on things like that, I think it'd be much more difficult for police to abuse their power.
Because it's a fine line between the sort of banter line and then when you start to be sort of policing actual language in every form and policing thought, it's a difficult thing to sort of work your way through. But with cases like Sarah Everard and also some of the recruitment procedures, there are clearly bad practices. If you could change one thing within the police force now that could change immediately to improve their practices, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, I think, to be honest, they need a complete radical reform throughout the whole thing. But if there's one sort of thing I could choose to change, I think the vetting process is completely abhorrent. I think they should do psychological tests on police officers. I think they should look into the reason why that officer has joined the force, if there's any previous convictions, if there's any previous allegations of things that they might have done in the past. If there's allegations of them being domestically violent, why are you hiring them in a service that has that power to do what they want to women?
Perhaps they could just do their research. Patsy, thank you very much. Patsy Stevenson, she's a women's rights activist.